Hey fellas, it's me, Moy the Boy. Now what type of subject are we going to be going over today? Ah, I see. Now, licensed games are a very good marketing strategy because first of all, you get a license of a character and the consumers will recognize the character and then they'll be able to buy it, which is great for the game developer, the license owner, and the company that's even publishing this in the first place. The developers, they'll get their fair share of money for making the game, and then the license, they'll get money because you have to use that license in the first place, and then the consumers will buy it, and then however many copies of a certain licensed game are sold, then business is booming. And whichever game is the perfect. Now, what game would the perfect console be? Okay, what am I even saying right now? Anyways, now what's the perfect console for a licensed game? I think you can already guess this one. That's right, the Wii. I mean, think about it. It's for casual audiences, right? For casual audiences. That means that whatever type of person that's buying this, uncle, mom, sister, whatever, and then they see all these licensed characters like their Mickey Mouse and their Spider-Man, to be like, oh wow, I have this console that I already bought because I'm a casual consumer who doesn't know much about video games. And then there's this license that's already here. I mean, how do you recognize this guy? Anyway, so of course there are many different types of licensed games on the Wii. I mean, we have Transformer games, we also have Power Rangers, a lot of different Marvel games, a lot of different DC games. And then there's just a bunch of random ports all over the place, like the GameCube ports and all that stuff. So really, this was a console that had a little thing for everybody. And you know what? Unfortunately, it led to the game I'll be talking about today. This is possibly the worst game ever. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen for the Wii. Now you may think that this is just an average Transformers game, Pop it open, you have your disc, you have your manual, teaches you all the instructions and combos. But the thing here, though, is of how bad everything is. Because look, you look on the back, and then you see all these cool little things. And yes, you do fight Devastator, which I do find pretty cool. But there's really nothing to like about this game, other than nostalgia. But even nostalgia can't get over everything. Okay, let's talk about each and every singular point that I have that makes this game the worst game of all time. I know there's probably worse ones, but this is the worst game in my opinion. First off, the graphics. Okay, now I know it's a Wii game, but we have Mario Kart, Skyward Sword. They even have Mario Galaxy on there. And those so sort of hold up to today's standards. Although yes, we have Spider-Man 2, Modern Warfare 3, the one released in 2003, and all these other games. But the only good thing that this really has are the models. And the models are reused. And you can collect these models as collectibles. And then when you go to the gallery to check out the collectibles, half of them are just the same reused models, except with tiny little differences to make you think that you're actually getting different models. Second, the combat. Oh my gosh, the combat. So, you have to waggle the Wii remote and this all over the place just so then you can hit. And sometimes it's just so annoying because you try to move one way, but then it does another attack that I didn't even plan on doing in the first place. So then it gets really annoying, really unresponsive, and you can't even get different types of combos. Each character plays the same. And what's even worse is that due to no variety, each level feels the same. All the combat feels the same. There's the same 3-hit combo for the light attack, another 3-hit combo for a heavy attack, and then there's just a bunch of random pairing attacks that you don't even use half the time because you're too busy just trying to waggle the controller to move. So, the combat is pretty sluggish. That's not even the worst part, because there are some pretty basic combat mechanics, but for a Wii game, I mean, what do you even expect to do with the Wii? Okay, but if the combat is pretty basic, then the block is the worst thing about this combat. because the block doesn't even work half the time. And then when you don't block, and then they're just kind of stunned, and then the enemies keep on hitting you like boom, 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 and then you lose so much health, and it's very, very annoying to deal with. But if you think that's the worst part, we're not even there. The level design is absolutely horrible. Like, really, really bad. Because you just go room to room. And room to room to room to room, just fighting a bunch of enemies with... It's just rinse and repeat. I feel like I'm not even doing anything half the time. It's just rinse and repeat. Same stuff over and over and over. With no variety at all. And guess what? Guess what? You only play as a car once or twice. That's it. In a Transformers game, you play as a car once or twice. Not even as like an Autobot. You play as a Decepticon named Sideways. And then the plane segments by Starscream, they're okay, but they're just mainly like those like arcade games of where you're just like pointing with the Wii remote, which is how you aim in the game, which I am not a fan of. I mean, yeah, unfortunately. But you're meant to aim, and then it's just like a side scroller, and then you're just like moving around a Starscream, just brr, 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 brr. Yeah. So, what have we gone over so far? Subpar graphics, bad combat, awful game design. Well, game design for the levels. And I even got a glitch halfway through the Devastator boss. I had to make me restart the entire level. Speaking of bosses, that's the worst part in the entire game. The bosses. So the first boss, the Demolisher, it's pretty fine, you know? Pretty good tutorial boss. Then Devastator was my favorite. And that's the only time I actually felt joy in the entire game. Because then the Optimus Prime one was so bad. Because he has a little deflection thingy that can't even shoot any of your blasters at him. Any of your cannons. Which you use to aim with your Wii remote. And then he just adds like all these like little minions that get in your way of actually trying to use your sword to slash him or something. Or your fists or something. And then you're meant to knock down these pillars that are so small. They're like, do you have any type of reference? They're like so small. They might even be smaller than a DS cartridge. And then, so yeah, Optimus Prime boss pretty horrible. But imagine that, but you take down every singular little thing, and you just have the combat part. And that's basically the Megatron boss, and it's absolutely dreadful and awful, and it's not even that enjoyable. I blocked the entire time, and then I hit him, and then I fought off his grunts, and then that's all I really did. It's really, really boring. And then the final boss, the Fallen, the main bad guy of the game. Honestly, Devastator was an even better boss than the final boss, because all you do is you jump over shockwaves, get close to him, hit him, and that's literally all you do. I mean, sure, there is the second phase of where you like have to lure his like his little energy balls through the portals to hit him. That's like the only good thing about that boss, and that's really annoying. So yeah, honestly, worst game of the year. So yeah, this is really bad. If you can't tell, this is really bad. And yes, if you have anything to say otherwise, then you could say in the comment section. But I think I made my point very, very clear. And don't say anything that I'm just bad at the game, okay? I'm a pretty subpar gamer. You know, I'm pretty good. I'd say I'm not like that, like good over just like do all the button combinations or whatever. I don't know what this is, but yeah. Anyways, see you later. Yeah. Bye. Hope you have a good day, fellas.